news in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Well, in the spirit of progression, Uganda Airlines yesterday launched 3 new routes that it will be flying, and these are the routes of Abuja, Harare and Lusaka. So we will be going to these countries, and these will be direct flights. So we say congratulations to the national carrier Uganda Airlines. This is no mean feat, and it means that we are progressing as a country and as the national airline. My name is Olive Monica Najama. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda on this Thursday morning, where we also throw back to the good times. I don't know which good times my colleague here, Chirabo Robert Nyonyintono, would like to throw back at, but it's a good day, right? It's a good day.
Well, to me it's not a good day.
Okay.
It wasn't a good morning because when I was coming to work very early, a thief, I want to call him a thief, though in our law books he remains a suspect. So if you're around Naweru and they stole your cow overnight and about 5 goats, please go to this police station that was spared in Ubiji. These were in a Mark II, they were stolen, but at least police, with the help of other people, have been able to arrest the culprit. He's there, and the cow and the 5 goats. But if you could look at the pictures, I don't know if the technical team can show some of the pictures and videos, you're going to be shocked how a cow, a mature cow, can fit in a Mark II. Seated like a passenger, and then how also goats can fit there. So why it's not, I'm so passionate about farming, I'm in farming, and I was just like, this person whose cow, who is going to wake up and doesn't see his cow, doesn't see 5 goats, the pain they are going to go through.
That's quite a huge investment.
It's a huge investment, but I'm happy, and I hope that the owner can listen to this. If you wake up and you don't see your cow, it's brown, and some goats, please just go to the police station. That was when they were restoring the wetland, that police station in Ubiji. Your cow is there, the goats are there, they are safe thanks to very vigilant Ugandans and the police.
Do we know where these cows and goats were got from?
Well, the suspect said they were got in Naweru, that he had stolen them from Naweru, but of course you can't confirm. Maybe he wanted just to, but I hope they were gotten from there. So if you're within those areas, maybe the photos, we shall have them later for someone to look at that clearly and see them, but you can check by and see if those are your animals. Yes, that is the cow. Now, that is the Mark II. If you can see others,
so the door was well closed
before
he was arrested.
Before he was arrested. And actually what happened, this guy was cruising in front of me. Now the boot of the car hit a hump and it opened.
Okay.
And I saw 5 goats inside, 5 goats. So it was the reason I made an alarm plus borders, and later were able. The videos are not very clear maybe, but you would see the goats there as they're removing the cow still. So it is something that really is very annoying, and now someone can be very wise to fit a cow in a Mark II.
You're calling them wise. But anyway, you did your civic duty, and you looked out for someone else that you don't even know. And this is what we should be doing as Ugandans. Look out for others, be our neighbor's keeper or each other's keeper. When you see something that is out of sorts, you report it. You never know, you could be saving a life, and sometimes you could be saving someone's investment, like in this case. Now I have my colleagues in Studio B. I'll go to the lady right there. Chantal, how are you this morning? Did you see anything eventful on your way to work?
Except for how Ugandans drive like maniacs, it was the usual, because they actually drive like maniacs 95% of the times. Yeah, the biggest percentage. But it's a good morning, and it's a Thursday, throwing back to the high school times. And this is especially going to Godwin Mwesigwa.
A story is told of when Godwin danced. There was a special dance. It's senior one. But we won't tell that story. Yes. Godwin, greetings to you. I hope the memory back to senior one is eventful and indeed brings forth beautiful memories.
These days it is true.
Chantal. As we start this new day, any news stories that stood out for you in the last 24 hours?
Well, what stood out for me is the fact that we're going to be, the Uganda Airlines is going to be going to Abuja 2 times a week, and will also be going to, and that is starting from the 25th of September, and then also we're going to be having 4 times weekly, that is on the 25th of September starting. That is for those who will be going to Lusaka. Then 4 times weekly as well for those who are going to Harare, still starting on the 25th of September. Actually, Abuja starts on the 12th of September, and it's going to be 2 times weekly. And I'm looking forward to, to greater routes opening for us. And it's a good step, and I would say we're headed in the right direction.
Indeed, we are headed in the right direction, especially looking at how many airlines actually lost it during COVID-19. So it's a wonder and a beautiful one to watch, to see that the national carrier is actually extending where many were folding. Good morning, Jerome Paul.
Oh, good morning to you, Monica, and good morning to our dear viewer this very morning. Uganda Airlines, wow. Yeah. And you get to realize that these destinations are giving us the chance to explore Africa even more. And it is a step in the right direction. Heading to Harare, we have quite a number of Ugandans who are seeking out different, who are actually working in most of these countries, surprisingly. And many of those, for example, those in Zambia were really excited about this route. Then those in Zimbabwe, very excited. And when it comes to, Nigeria, we've been having so many business people from Nigeria coming to Uganda. And Ugandans going to Nigeria. So with these direct flights, you get to realize that we are moving in what someone would definitely say the right direction, as the Uganda Airlines is also on the go to ensure that we also have, or to secure, a direct flight to the United Kingdom. So you do realize that it's giving us chance to move in there, or to put ourselves in a position where our aviation sector is growing.
That's indeed a beautiful feat. Now, Jerome, watching your status yesterday, I did realize that you have plans to go to Namibia. Do you mind sharing with us why?
The reasons as to why I want to go to Namibia is one of those, the most beautiful countries in Southern Africa. if you, open, let's say, the capital, Windhoek, and try to, Google and search how it does look like, it's more like, it gives you views of Brazzaville, that is in Congo. So there are certain countries across the African continent that are worth visiting. And at times, Namibia is one of those countries that is highly, noted to be having quite a number of ghost towns over the weekend. It's because the population is not as high as ours.
Okay.
And speaking of Namibia also, there is a statement that was released by one of the Namibia digital platforms, which has made very many Ugandans throw tantrums here and there. And what I would like the viewer to know, the statement is relating to the stay of the Kabaka of Buganda in Namibia.
Okay.
And at the same time, the only thing I would love to tell the viewer is that not until we get a final statement or an official statement
from the government,
coming in from the government or even the central government of Uganda, the Uganda government, I do not want us to have speculations about this, because these are diplomatic kind of conversations and relations that are at stake at the end of it all. So we shall wait for an official statement, as this looks like a developing story to look out for.
All right, it is indeed a developing story, and if there are any developments to it, we will be bringing you the updates here on Good Morning Uganda, but also on our shows that run on Uganda Broadcasting Corporation all through the day. It could be the news or any other show, so stay tuned on UBC and you will be having the updates if there is any. Now, Joram, before we launch into the news, what are you throwing back to?
Throwing back, today I don't really have a lot of things to throw back, but one thing I remember most is that, because today I am paying a visit to one of my very tight friends that we went through high school together. He's a male. And the thing that I throw back to was, in high school we used to wear lots of, we used to wear baggy trousers, if that is the word to use. Let's say 10 inches, 8 inches, and we didn't love wearing such trousers, such huge trousers on ourselves. So we used to take them to the tailor for fitting. And then we had a problem with the uniform master, because every time they found you with a fitted trouser, they will use a scissor to cut it, and then you go back to making sure that this trouser goes back to the original that they gave you.
That was painful.
It was really painful because it was embarrassing. But today, that fashion is coming back. I'm seeing many boys wearing, many gentlemen going in for baggy trousers, or let's say bell-bottom trousers as fashion.
Would you wear one?
Oh, wow.
I would wear one if there is an event I'm supposed to go to, because I realized it would be very good on me.
There is the reminiscence. Anyway, Jerome Paul is throwing back to those days of baggy trousers. And today, by the way, schools are now actually allowing their students to wear fitting trousers. So probably schools are moving with the times. Chiraba Robert, I would love so much to hear you throwing back to something, but briefly, and then take us through the news.
Well, for me, I'll just throw back to the Kameme. I don't know if you people...
Oh, gosh.
Well, those days where you could eat your transport money at school comfortably, knowing that when you get to the taxi park, there is a free seat for you. So you would sit there and then and you would pay nothing. It was normal. And the people would accept you. These are children, leave them sit. But these days, whose shoes do you step on? I think we are losing humanity.
No, it's not losing humanity. I am happy that taxi operators do not want people to sit on the Kameme anymore. I suffered. People, I suffered. That thing you would burn and you would be uncomfortable.
Put your books and school
No, Chirabo, let's get into the news, because no. No.
Someone has a trauma.
No, trauma. I'm traumatized.
Well, we'll begin with a police that dispersed members of parliament who had gone to meet people in their constituency who are occupying wetlands and are due for eviction. Now, yesterday, the military forces blocked a consultative meeting in Kasokoso, which was organized by local members of parliament that include Semujunganda, Chira Municipality, Betty Naruyima, Woman MP Wakiso District, Ronald Balimwezo, MP Nakawa East, together with the Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago. Leaders and residents had planned to discuss the fate of those who encroached on the wetland in Kasokoso at the time when NEMA is evicting people on all wetlands. Semuju was arrested for ransom with other youth, but it was later confirmed that Semuju was returned to his home in Chira and not allowed to get out. According to residents and leaders, by 6 a.m., police and the military had already been deployed at Kasokoso beach, where a meeting was to take place. The mayor tried to talk to KMP, that is Kampala Metropolitan Police, to allow them hold a meeting and police provide them with security, but in vain. However, as the mayor was trying to convince the security, Honorable Semuju Nganda was calling upon people to join him so that they can finish their meeting. This, however, annoyed the police together with the military forces, hence started to fire tear gas ahead of him being arrested. After arresting Semuju Nganda, the police took him to his home in Chira and he was not allowed to get out. Members of parliament wanted to address their people who are worried of being evicted by NEMA, National Environment Management Authority, for encroaching on wetlands. Residents were seen expressing their dissatisfaction before tear gas and bullets dispersed them.
Now moving on, the Prime Minister, Right Honourable Robina Nabanja, flanked by Honourable Norbert Mao, the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, and Professor Pamela Mbabazi, met Miss Joyce Nsuya, the Assistant Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs and Deputy Emergency Relief Coordinator at the G77. They held bilateral talks with 2 United Nations officials. The Premier and her guest discussed a wide range of issues, especially the urgent need for responses to disasters in areas such as Mount Elgon and Kasese, among others. On her part, Joyce Nsuya, the Assistant Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs and Deputy Emergency Relief Coordinator, assured the Prime Minister that the United Nations is ready to support Uganda and the disaster-prone areas. In a related development, Nabanja held bilateral talks with Claver Gatete, the UN Under-Secretary General and Executive Secretary of the Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA. Nabanja lauded UNECA for the support they offer to Uganda, especially in assessing the performance of local governments to improve service delivery. Norbert Mao, the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, expressed the need to address vulnerabilities for socio-economic transformation. Claver Gatete, the UN Under-Secretary General and Executive Secretary of the Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA, stated that Africa needs to come up with African solutions to address some of the issues affecting it. Uganda took over the leadership of G77 plus China from the Republic of Cuba during the 3rd South Summit of the G77 plus China Heads of State and Government at Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo, under the theme, Leaving No One Behind.
And moving on, the designating of sectorial committee chairpersons who applied for committee leadership is in its final stages, pending approval of the nominees by the Central Executive Committee of the ruling party, that is NRM, that yields the majority in numerical strength in Parliament. Government Chief Whip Hans Mobua made the revelation during a media engagement at Parliament. The approval of sectorial committee chairpersons still implicated many of the outgoing committee chairpersons that are coming from the ruling party in corruption scandals that also inquire interfering with the budget process and soliciting for bribes from accounting officers of government to enhance their ministerial budgets.
And in other news, Kampala Capital City Authority's Executive Director Dorothy Chisaka has expressed dissatisfaction with the progress of the Port Bell Road rehabilitation in Nakawa Division. She voiced her concern during an inspection tour to assess its progress. Port Bell Road has been under reconstruction for nearly 2 years now, causing significant inconveniences to the public. Kampala is grappling with poor infrastructure, inadequate drainage systems and deteriorating roads, which have contributed to increased traffic congestion and hampered business activities in the city. With funding from the African Development Bank, the Kampala Capital City Authority began rehabilitating the city's roads to align with the Smart City agenda, aiming to enhance productivity and ease of doing business. However, the slow progress of some of the projects have prompted Kampala Capital City Authority Executive Director Dorothy Kisaka to head to the field. Among the roads inspected is the 10-kilometer Portbell Road in Nakawa Division. On site, Chisaka expressed dissatisfaction with the pace at which the contractors are working. The road users are appealing to the government to expedite the roadworks for better living. In response to their concerns, Chisaka promised to ensure timely supervision of the ongoing projects in the city. This road is expected to be completed by the end of 2025. With the $288 million funding from the African Development Bank, KCCA is expected to rehabilitate a total of 30 roads in the city. That does it for the local news. Chantal, please take us through the international news.
Well, news coming in from the White House in the U.S. says President Joe Biden has tested positive for COVID-19. Now, he's suffering from mild symptoms, the White House continues to say. And Karine Jean-Pierre, the press secretary, said U.S. President is vaccinated and boosted. He has tested positive for COVID twice before. Mr. Biden, 81, was seen earlier on Wednesday visiting supporters in Las Vegas and speaking at an event. He has cancelled a campaign speech later, and the illness comes as he faces increasing pressure to step aside because of his age. U.S. media reports both Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Majority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, the two top Democrats in the U.S. Congress, separately met Mr. Biden privately and expressed that there is deep concern his candidacy would negatively impact other House and Senate races. Ms. Jean-Pierre said the president planned to isolate at his home in Delaware while he carries out all of his duties fully during that time. The president's Dr. Kevin O'Connor said Mr. Biden presented with upper respiratory symptoms, including a runny nose and cough, and was given his first dose of Paxlovid. He felt fine during his first event during the day, but later tested positive, Dr. O'Connor said. Moving on, the daughter of Dubai's ruler appears to have announced her divorce on social media. The post from the verified Instagram account of Sheikha Mahra bint Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum said she was ending her marriage and reads, "I hereby declare our divorce." The BBC reached out to officials in the country to seek clarity on the matter. There has been no public comment from Sheikha Mahra's husband, Sheikh Mana bin Mohammed bin Rashid bin Mana Al Maktoum, or her father. The post, which begins, "Dear husband," concluded, "I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you," seemingly using the Islamic practice known as the triple talaq. The practice has been banned in many countries, but usually allows husbands to swiftly divorce their wives by saying, "I divorce you," 3 times. "Take care, your ex-wife," the post on Instagram added. All images of Sheikha Mahra's husband appear to have been deleted from her account. Sheikh Mana's account likewise seems stripped of pictures of his wife. Now back to Kenya. Kenyan police said late Wednesday no demonstrations would be permitted in the center of the capital, Nairobi, following deadly anti-government protests. The country has been roiled by initially peaceful rallies sparked by the now abandoned tax hikes, which degenerated into violence, and that has left scores dead, according to a state-funded rights group. President William Ruto has scrambled to calm the situation, scrapping the proposed finance bill containing the tax increases dismissing his cabinet and promising government cuts. But the rallies, while much smaller than last month, have continued across the country, with many still calling on the Kenyan leader to resign. No demonstrations will be permitted in Nairobi Central Business District and its surroundings until further notice to ensure public safety. Acting National Police Chief Douglas Kanja said in a statement late yesterday. The area has been the epicenter of many of the previous marches in the city. Ahead of the ban, some posters were being shared online calling on protesters to gather in nearby Uhuru Park before marching to State House yesterday. And lastly, matters climate. Last week, world leaders from more than 30 countries across North America and Europe gathered in Washington to discuss the top security threats facing members of NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. During the summit, NATO released a report outlining the accelerating threats emerging from a top 4 climate change. Part of a broader climate action strategy, the assessment examines the many ways climate impacts, from heat waves to ocean acidification, affect security infrastructure, military personnel, NATO adversaries, and disaster response. The human impacts, often some of the first on the scene after a disaster, NATO military personnel are uniquely at risk to climate extremes, the report finds. Last year, nearly 30 international military deployments responded to climate-related emergencies, and this was in 14 countries, including Slovenia and Greece. In the US, more than 600 military personnel was sent to help manage the wildfires that ripped through Hawaii in 2023, marking one of the largest deployments in response to a single hazard in the country's recent history. On a daily basis, soldiers are regularly exposed to harsh conditions such as dust storms, intense rain, and droughts, all expected to get worse as climate change accelerates. And that is it for our climate news stories and international news.
Thank you, Chantal. And right now, we delve into the press review with Jerome Paul.
And well, with the press review this very morning, we start off with what the New Vision is highlighting, and they start with the mergers. Over 2,000 staff to be affected by the exercise, 27 billion allocated to affected staff. Then Namibia declines to extend Kabaka's stay. The story is in the New Vision. The crane gets 3 new destinations. Find out more in the New Vision. Then also from Chambogo Deputy VC remanded further as USS Senator behind Uganda sanctions guilty of corruptions. And then CDF receives 3 million more FMD vaccines. These are from Egypt, according to what the New Vision is highlighting. Now we head to Kenya, the Daily Nation. Quarryman was a shy lover boy, and one family has also identified the body of their missing kin. It matters crime. Now, implosion in Azimio over Ruto dialogue. Also, governance why Ruto has put Mudavadi in charge of all the ministries. Then, austerity, teachers' welfare to take a hit. More details is in the Daily Nation, with also another report saying stop that madness, it's time for a reset. Then lastly, from our press reviews, the Citizen newspaper, this is from Tanzania, what tripartite renewable energy partnership means. Then NEP apologies over election jib after backlash. And then in business, Amson's group faces $5.3 million hit if it walks away from Bamburi deal. Now, child safety, call for police procedure to be reviewed. Then, how boy aged 6 escaped death at the hands of a fugitive housemaid. Those are details with the Citizen, and that is it from our press review this Thursday.
Now, years ago, when most of the music, most of the bangers were from Central Region, a lady from Western Uganda released a song that became a household rhythm in most of Uganda's households, and this is the song Tina Tine by Lady Mariam. Enjoy.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala.
Of Abuja, Harare and Lusaka. So we will be going to these countries and these will be direct flights. So we say congratulations to the national carrier Uganda Airlines. This is no mean feat and it means that we are progressing as a country and as the national airline. My name is Olive Monica Najama. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda on this Thursday morning where we also throw back to the good times. I don't know which good times my colleague here, Chirabo Robert Nyonyintana, would like to throw back at, but it's a good day, right? It's a good day.
Well, to me it's not a good day.
Okay.
It wasn't a good morning because when I was coming to work very early, a thief, I want to call him a thief, though in our law books he remains a suspect. So if you're around Naweru and they stole your cow overnight and about 5 goats, please go to this police station that was spared in Ubiji. These were in a Mark II, they were stolen, but at least police, with the help of other people, have been able to arrest the culprit. He's there, and the cow and the 5 goats. But if you could look at the pictures, I don't know if the technical team can show us some of the pictures and videos, you're going to be shocked how a cow, a mature cow, can fit in a Mark II. Seated like a passenger, and then how also goats can fit there. So why it's not, I'm so passionate about farming, I'm in farming, and I was just like, this person whose cow, who is going to wake up and doesn't see his cow, doesn't see 5 goats, the pain they are going to go through.
That's quite a huge investment.
It's a huge investment, but I'm happy and I hope that the owner can listen to this. If you wake up and you don't see your cow, it's brown, and some goats, please just go to the police station. That was when they were restoring the wetland, that
Yes.
police station in Ubiji. Your cow is there, the goats are there, they are safe thanks to very vigilant Ugandans and the police.
Do we know where these cows and goats were got from?
Well, the suspect said they were got in Naweru, that he had stolen them from Naweru, but of course you can't confirm. Maybe he wanted just to, but I hope they were gotten from there. So if you're within those areas, maybe the photos we shall have them later for someone to look at that clearly and see them, but you can check by and see if those are your animals. Yes, that is the cow. Now, that is the Mark II. If you can see others,
So the door was well closed
The door
before
was
he
well
was
closed.
arrested.
Before he was arrested. And actually what happened, this guy was cruising in front of me. Now the boot of the car hit a hump and it opened.
Okay.
And I saw 5 goats inside, 5 goats. So it was the reason I made an alarm, plus borders, and later were able. The videos are not very clear maybe, but you would see the goats there as they're removing the cow still. So it is something that really is very annoying. And now someone can be very wise to fit a cow in a Mark II.
You're calling them wise. But anyway, you did your civic duty and you looked out for someone else that you don't even know. And this is what we should be doing as Ugandans. Look out for others, be our neighbor's keeper or each other's keeper. When you see something that is out of sorts, you report it. You never know, you could be saving a life and sometimes you could be saving someone's investment, like in this case. Now I have my colleagues in Studio B. I'll go to the lady right there, Chantal. How are you this morning? Did you see anything eventful on your way to work?
Except for how Ugandans drive like maniacs, it was the usual, because they actually drive like maniacs 95% of the times. Yeah, the biggest percentage. But it's a good morning and it's a Thursday, throwing back to the high school times. And this is especially going to Godwin Mwesigwa.
A story is told of when Godwin danced. There was a
Joined
special
senior
dance. It's senior one. But we
Welcome,
won't tell that
party
story.
leavers, party.
Yes. Godwin, greetings to you. I hope the memory to back to senior one is eventful and indeed brings forth beautiful memories.
These days it is true.
Chantal, as we start this new day, any news stories that stood out for you in the last 24 hours?
Well, what stood out for me is the fact that we're going to be, the Uganda Airlines is going to be going to Abuja 2 times a week, and will also be going to, and that is starting from the 25th of September, and then also we're going to be having 4 times weekly, that is on the 25th of September starting. That is for those who will be going to Lusaka. Then 4 times weekly as well for those who are going to Harare, still starting on the 25th of September. Actually, Abuja starts on the 12th of September, and it's going to be 2 times weekly. And I'm looking forward to, to greater routes opening for us. And it's a good step, and I would say we're headed in the right direction.
Indeed, we are headed in the right direction, especially looking at how many airlines actually lost it during COVID-19. So it's a wonder and a beautiful one to watch, to see that the national carrier is actually extending where many were folding. Good morning, Jerome Paul.
Well, good morning to you, Monica, and good morning to our dear viewer this very morning. Uganda Airlines, wow. Yeah. And you get to realize that these destinations are giving us the chance to explore Africa even more. And it is a step in the right direction. Heading to Harare, we have quite a number of Ugandans who are seeking out different, who are actually working in most of these countries, surprisingly. And many of those, for example, those in Zambia were really excited about this route. Then those in Zimbabwe, very excited. And when it comes to, Nigeria, we've been having so many business people from Nigeria coming to Uganda.
And Ugandans going to Nigeria.
So with these direct flights, you get to realize that we are moving in what someone would definitely say the right direction, as the Uganda Airlines is also on the go to ensure that we also have, or to secure, a direct flight to the United Kingdom. So you do realize that it's giving us chance to move in there, or to put ourselves in a position where our aviation sector is growing.
That's indeed a beautiful feat. Now, Jerome, watching your status yesterday, I did realize that you have plans to go to Namibia. Do you mind sharing with us why?
The reasons as to why I want to go to Namibia is one of those, the most beautiful countries in Southern Africa. If you, open, let's say, the capital, Windhoek, and try to, Google and search how it does look like, it's more like, it gives you views of Brazzaville, that is in Congo.
Chantal Olive Akandinda. Now, according to Criminal Investigation Directorate, they say that 13,441 girls were defiled a year ago. This report was at the end of 2023. But there is more when it comes to the defilement of girls in Uganda. A case in point is the Aaron case that has sparked outrage. The Chambogo instructor that defiled a child living with disabilities. He not only defiled her, but also started threatening her life and that of her loved ones. Now, civil society organizations have come out and rallied behind this girl to ensure that she gets justice. This case was yesterday in court, and the instructor, Aaron, is on remand in Luzira. But this is not just an isolated case. Many more cases have been seen. There was a case last year, I forget the name of the girl, who was defiled still, and her abuser even cut off her hand. He tried to kill her. Now, these cases and many more are what Uganda's children are experiencing. So one would wonder why the prevailing cases, why the prevailing defilement in Uganda. We want to look at the bigger picture and get to understand what is the prevalence of defilement in Uganda, away from the 13,000 that I've shared. There are more numbers, and I would throw this question to you, Chantal. How is the prevalence? How big is this problem in the country?
Well, you mentioned 13,000 children that were defiled. That was a report in 2023. And of those 13,000, 300 of those were infected with HIV and AIDS. And then also, according to a report, there was a total of 13,144 juveniles. And then of those that were defiled, 383 were the ones that were infected with HIV, and then out of the total victims, 12,818 were females, while 326 were males. Now, 97 of those were defiled by parents, 90 by guardians, and 211 were defiled by their teachers. Now, that is the sad report right now. Now, we need to make a comparison between the year 2022 and the year 2023. There was an increase of about 1.5% from 12,771 to 12. That was for 2023, and that was an increase from 12,580 cases that were reported in 2022.
Wow. That is quite a large number. And you said how many were infected with HIV?
We're talking about 383 that were infected with HIV.
And of these, how many were defiled by their caregivers, parents and guardians?
You're looking at about 97 that were defiled by the parents, 90 by guardians, and then 211 by their teachers.
Their teachers?
Yes.
Well, so ladies and gentlemen, those are the numbers. That is how prevalent defilement is in Uganda.
Also,
and it's also
Monica,
important. Yes.
There is also a figure here from 2022 in Nansana municipality, that is in Wakiso district, that reveals that of 80% of reported defilement cases that year in Wakiso,
yes,
20% were from schools. 80 were from the community.
So from schools, I would like for you to clarify, is it still by mainly the teachers or their fellow students?
It is mainly the teachers.
Jesus.
And those above, because defilement is simply someone who is having intercourse, forced sexual intercourse with someone of the underage.
All right. So can we understand what the types of defilement are? Because defilement is a blanket word, but it is broken down.
There are pretty much two of those. There is simple defilement. This is one where sexual intercourse, so attempted sexual intercourse with a girl under 18 years old. Now, and then there is aggravated defilement. Now, this is with underage girls of 14 and below, 8, 6, 5, name the age.
Okay. Now that we have an understanding of what defilement means and the types, let's launch into the conversation. Now I'll come to you, Mr. Chirabo. Why is defilement still prevalent in the country? And also, what are some of the contributing factors to this misnomer in our society?
First and foremost, anything to do with sex in the African setting creates fear for someone to come out as a victim. Today we are discussing about issues regarding defilement, but when it comes to rape, the situation is even worse, because a woman will not go to a police station to say, I was raped. Now, why it's first prevailing is because the African continent, by virtue of our culture, religion, these are things we keep so sacred that even when it happens, we have so many thoughts towards it. Many girls that are defiled actually are defiled by people they know, some their relatives. Now, there are many young girls who are defiled by their stepfathers. Now think of that incident. The mother would rather find a way of killing it at that level than carrying on something to do with imprisonment, that your husband defiled his stepdaughter.
Robert, you're saying stepdaughters, but according to the report Chantal shared, I don't think they mention only stepfathers.
No, I'm saying, I'm just giving you, I'm just,
fathers?
there are also cases of biological fathers, but I'm trying to give an example why, first of all, this is not a case that comes out so much in the public because it has that element. Uncles have done so much injustice in this area. Most of them, a person they know commits this offense. Then the other problem why it's prevailing, and actually the major problem, that even when these cases are reported to police, the evidence required to convict is very hard to gather because people are ignorant. Now, because defilement attracts life imprisonment if convicted, aggravated death sentence. Now, because of that big punishment, there is so much evidence needed beyond reasonable doubt to prove that that person actually committed the offense.
What kind of evidence is required?
One, the person arrested or the suspect, you must have proper evidence that sexual intercourse occurred. The girl that has been defiled, it is advisable not to bathe this girl. Now, the young child comes maybe even bleeding for aggravated defilement. The mother rushes, what has happened? Or the auntie. They remove the clothes, they shower her, they wash off everything. Now they go to police to report. Now, fact of sexual intercourse, because here the police would need the semen as evidence that there was penetration, sex happened. Now, you've destroyed that already, that evidence, which is critical because this case is attracting a maximum of life imprisonment or even death.
Now, in the case of aggravated defilement, which you're referring to, they need, yes, semen as one key of evidence. But if it is, let's say, a 7-year-old, if sexual intercourse has taken place, even if they've been showered, isn't there a way police can actually find out that this girl has indeed been abused?
Now, away from the semen only.
Yes.
They'll need sometimes the clothings, they'll need witnesses. Of course, these days they have developed a way where the girl is interviewed not in a public court, in isolated, I've forgotten the term they use in law. But what happens? That because this child is also young, giving information, second, witnesses, that a person can come. And remember, when someone is carrying out defilement, because of, I don't want to call it secret, they usually don't commit this in a place that you can easily see, like a robbery.
That's true.
In broad daylight, no. But they'll find a place usually where they are them and the person they are defiling. So it makes it very hard for someone to have witnessed this happen. So you're depending on stories being told by this girl who is now under trauma and fear. She cannot even record a proper statement. But even accessing this, because when defilement happens, not every medical place you go to is accepted by law. There are specific designated doctors that police gives that you can go to and they'll have that report.
Are they supposed to be police doctors?
They have specific clinics or, yes, health facilities that they accredit. That if there's a defilement case on this side, you can go here, you can go there.
So now if I'm in Namaingo district, deep down there, Kapchora or whatever district, and I'm deep down, not even in the ones that are near cities or suburbs, how do I know, how do I get this information to know that in the event that this happens, this is where I'm supposed to go?
And I think this is why we see that over 50% of people suspected of defilement go scot-free. They win these cases because of lack of awareness. People don't know, but also lack of accessibility to how best we can protect and preserve this evidence so that when it comes to court, someone can be convicted. That is the biggest challenge. People don't know that when a defilement case happens, what do we do? Just like even sometimes in theft. They have broken into someone's house, they bring all the neighbors. Now later they say, let's bring sniffer dogs. The entire scene has been contaminated already. So even with the defilement, people are not aware. And the culprit and these suspects do it knowing.
That they won't be caught. Now,
They won't be
coming
caught.
to you, Chantal, given that some of the perpetrators that you shared with us are people in positions of trust, like teachers, like parents, like guardians, and also given the fact that we've been told that most of the children are abused or defiled by people they know. In your perspective, what do you think makes people in such positions of power carry out defilement?
Well, you're going to look at things like cultural norms and practices. For some of these individuals, they don't find a problem with it. Now, in Kampala or in even some urban areas, we may not think this exists, but in some societies, I don't know how prevalent it is, but in some societies, defilement was not a problem. A 16-year-old girl was perceived to be old enough, and defilement was a way of actually marrying this child. I think I should put it like that. So some of the cultural norms actually promote defilement. Then you're going to also look at weak legal systems and enforcement. You're also going to look at stigma. Now, these are things that, yes, lead to prevalence of defilement, but also these are factors that someone would look into and they would literally fearlessly go ahead and commit such a crime, and because they know no one is going to touch them. For example, do you know that after someone is defiled, in most cases, they'll even tell them you have no one you can tell because they'll not believe you? I saw a story. This lady made a post on TikTok and she asked, what stopped you from telling your relatives that you were defiled or raped? And when you go through the comment section, the biggest cited reason was stigma. And then someone went ahead and also stated and said, put in quotes, what were you wearing? You get it? So you realize that this person has already been put in the picture of, I am going to be judged, I'm going to be castigated, instead of the person who committed the what? Committed the crime. So in this case, even the perpetrators know. When a woman is defiled, the first excuse they're going to say, or when someone is defiled, the first excuse they're going to give is they were dressed inappropriately. But now even for the child, this person the other thing they'll claim is a health issue, a mental health challenge. So yet some of them are even sober enough, they do these things knowingly. So and then you go to the part of the weak legal system that cannot hold these people accountable. And also talk about the fact that when so for example, the parents or the guardians of these children do not know what they're supposed to do. Now it takes me to a little to no sensitization on what needs to be done. If this child, if the sin is cleared, like Robert put it, you realize that it leaves this person to go scot-free. If they cannot get the semen of this person to confirm the DNA with a DNA test, if the clothes were even taken off and washed and there is no DNA that can be done or any test that can be done to confirm that this individual did it, if there was no other eye that saw this, maybe camera or even an individual, then this person is going to go scot-free. So you realize that there is a number of, I want to call them blind spots or loopholes in the way we carry out the investigations, in the way we make sure that these people are brought to book, and this gives them the leeway to go on and defile these children because they know if no one has seen me, if they cannot prove that it is me, I mean, we all go by you are innocent until proven guilty, and that's literally, it may not be like big reasons that we should think, but such small details are the reasons as to why we are seeing these perpetrators continue to do these things at the end of the day.
Well, during the conversation, what strategies can we employ to kill or to stop the vice of defilement in the country? A 2023 report indicates that a total of 12,771 cases of defilement were reported to police in 2023. This report was released this year in February by the Uganda Police Force, and they compared this to 12,580 cases reported in 2022, which gave an increase by 1.5% in defilement cases registered countrywide. Now we are just looking at 2023 and 2022, but this vice has been ongoing. I'll take you back a bit in 2020 when we had the lockdown and all our schools were closed for about 2 years. When our children stayed home, what happened? We saw girls from different parts of the country emerging pregnant. emerging pregnant, and most of these girls were underage. So we had girls between the ages of 10 and 17 who are pregnant, but also we had aggravated cases of defilement of girls as young as 3, defiled by their caregivers, their fathers, their guardians, their teachers. So coming to you, Jerome Paul, these perpetrators, what avenues, what should be done to rein them in and ensure that we do not have this vice in our country anymore?
You know, the funny part about the current story is that the accused is a university professor. Very funny in a situation when a university professor, age 56, is dealing with a teenager who is still in secondary.
Who should be their child.
Exactly. Not even a child. Some people are actually grandparents at that age.
Yes.
So,
and this is also, Jerome, just a bit, she's a person living with disabilities as well. Is it an eye impaired issue? Exactly. Yes.
Now, when you look at such situations in society today, there is something very worrying about defilement cases. There is no room for speaking up. And when you realize this becomes even worse to even get these stories out there or to even get the evidence, that if we are to look at what needs to be done, we have to empower communities, but also empowering the girl child. Because many of these young girls who have fallen victim to men who are supposed to be their mentors or teachers or, you know, relatives, uncles, many of them are even scared to come and report to anyone because they are afraid of what we shall perceive of them. At times, even society is too harsh on some of the defiled girls, because the girl will come out and say, this gentleman did this, and at times the person they've told will keep it as a secret. And we have these many cases. And as much as we are looking at the cases that are being reported, you have to be mindful of the other cases that are always kept. So in schools, for example, where some of these children are supposed to be protected, you expect teachers to play a very huge role in ensuring that at least these girls get to know that if you're defiled or if someone tries to make a sexual advance to you, you are supposed to report them to higher authorities. You have the right to report them. So giving this girl child or giving these girls the confidence right from school that if at all someone attempts to make any sort of sexual desires or any sort of sexual advances to you, please go and report to either your parent or go and report to, you know, someone, you know, older in the community and try to get solutions.
So Jerome, sorry to cut you short. Chantal did mention societal norms that perpetuate defilement. How can we rein these in? Because yes, I like that you're mentioning if you ways through which girls can be made aware or sensitized, but then there is the issue of societal norms where in some communities it's normal to defile a child.
Well, it's quite unfortunate that on the entire African continent, these are cases that are likely not to come to an end. Why? Because we have so many cultures that believe in early marriages. And the beauty is there is some slight of education where awareness has actually, you know, hit the country that for now, most parents will not allow, they're actually so protective of their daughters that at least they want their daughters married off after school, which is also a huge sign for us to look at. Now, with other cultures, it's going to be a very huge battle. But of course, we are taking the right direction with education. Why am I looking at education? Because with education, we are aware and we get information. Unlike in societies or cultures that are really primitive on the way they do their things or carry on with their things, even leaders who have actually passed through these cultures cannot stop some of these vices from continuing, which is quite unfortunate. But the beauty is with the growth of the women empowerment drives and campaigns, there are some changes here and there. Now, the only worry that we still have to fight is certain, you know, not even cultures, I should say, certain elements in men. Because this defilement has nothing to do with a girl child. It has a lot to do with the men who continue moving on with these vices, because you are an older person who is supposed to mentor and help and guide this young girl. But if your brain or your mind only tells you to look at her sexually, then you have a problem, I should say, because I could not only want to say you're a pedophile, but it's just really a problem.
You are a pedophile, I believe, if you're attracted to children.
Yes, you are, but
yes.
it even goes way beyond that, really.
Okay, thank you, Joram. Now, Chirabo, in a few seconds as we close, what call to action would you advise so that to the entire country and all our societies in as far as fighting defilement is concerned?
First, parents, be your children's best friend. Find time. Let that young girl feel very free with you, because that is when you'll even be able to talk to her about certain things comfortably, or she'll be able to tell you that so-and-so did this to me, because one of the reasons is sometimes we discover defilement when it is late and all evidence has been destroyed. The child cannot run to you and say, Daddy, Mommy, this has happened. So parents, let's be best friends of our children. Find time as you look for money to love these kids, to share, to be their friend. And finally, government will still need more awareness on how to preserve evidence, because the law is good. I want to believe the investigative machinery is also there and good, but the challenge is lack of awareness on preserving evidence that can lead to conviction of these suspects. And to fellow men, please and please, kaleke kasome.
Thank you, Robert, for your views, and Chantal plus Jerome Paul. Now, my parting shot, 12,580 children were registered to have been defiled last year. Now, these are just the cases that the police was able to register, but I believe that there are more cases that were never reported. So it goes back to us as parents, as guardians, as caregivers, to protect our children and to look out for things, changes in our children. Sometimes you will know that your child is being abused by just being attentive and paying attention to their attitude, to their behavior. If there is any slight change, try to investigate and find out why. You will be shocked by what you will uncover. Well, Good Morning Uganda does continue. Irene Allen Namisango is coming up next with Good Morning Uganda Tourism Express.
Juko.
Yo.
What you check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. But what you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that.
Okay.
The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you the long walk to freedom of the emergent kingdoms of Bunyala, Buruli and Koki that were once tributary counties of Bunyoro and later Buganda Kingdom.
During that time of Kabalega, before the colonial time,
we had kings. We had Buruli Wanyangoma Bunyala Kingdom, the kingdom of Koki.
And the Bunyoro Kala Kingdom.
The Kamuswaga, Nayagala Agende are very protected under Buganda.
The ruling family are actually
Babito.
The Baganda collaborated with the whites.
After the defeat of Kabarega, this county
was given to Uganda as the reward.
Showing at Rhino Hotel Nakasongola, Saturday 20th July at 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and at Kidera Town Council Hall on Sunday the 21st of July at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko pamoja?
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning to all our viewers. My name is Irene Alena Misango and this is the GME Tourism Express. It is yet another beautiful day to dive into the vibrant world of Uganda's tourism to tell you everything that is happening in the world of travel. And today we are thrilled to have a guest with us, a special guest with us, that is Miss Sharon Bakila, the public relations of Miss Tourism Ankole. So Miss Tourism Uganda, together with the regional queens like Miss Tourism Ankole, Miss Tourism Karamoja, Miss Tourism Buganda, they are working together to see that they pick out or they select out the outstanding queens that are going to contest for Miss Tourism Uganda. But Miss Tourism Uganda goes to these different regions to see that it also promotes these different regions in all their different or unique aspects that they have. Let's say Miss Tourism Ankole is supposed to stand out in promoting her region. Miss Tourism Buganda is supposed to stand out in promoting her region. However, I'm not going to say a lot. Let Sharon tell us what is really happening with Miss Tourism Ankole and what is going on. Sharon, it is nice to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. Miss Tourism Ankole, it started in 2013 when the late Honorable Mariam Tagamba launched it, and may her soul rest in peace. The essence of starting this project was to empower the girl child in the tourism industry. And I've seen the girls, the ladies, get empowered. They are the universe, you know. When you're in a home and you're welcomed by a woman, it is so really good to be in that home. So it was that project that really made the tourism industry as diverse as it is now. So in Ankole, we try to benchmark on the products or the tourism sites that we have, and that is what the girls are doing. And then we make them get projects to promote the region as at large. So that's how we do it.
So, Sharon, I need to understand, how is Miss Tourism particularly promoting the hidden games in Ankole region?
What we do is that we go around the district or the region. We select some districts where we go to, and then we make the girls have the social media handles, talk about them, the history behind that site or the history behind that. If it is maybe a national park and it's never seen, if it is a rock and they treasure the rock in that district. So there is a little history they write about, and then we also document those sites so that in the near future we have the information of the hidden games in Ankole region. So the girls are mandated to do that work, and to me the information is out there, because if you're to see, all the girls that we have are on X. So if you're on X and you're looking for maybe Miss Tourism Ankole page, you will see everything that we've done. Then we tell them, you know, tourism is not all about wildlife. These girls have done sports tourism, they've done culinary tourism, they have done cultural tourism, they've done, now we've gone to schools whereby we have to impact the students that there is tourism, because they always go for trips. And to me, it's as if it is for leisure. They never go for learning. But now, when they see the ladies, the queens, are participating in that, someone will have that urge of knowing more about the geography and history behind those sites.
Are you engaging somehow the communities in Ankole so that people understand the importance of tourism? Because when you look at the theme for Miss Tourism Uganda this year, it is tourism and peace. So we need to understand how is Miss Tourism Ankole promoting peace or using tourism to promote peace in the Ankole region?
What we've done is that we've engaged the community. In fact, we are sleeping in a community. We never go to hotels. The essence of this is to let the community know with tourism there's supposed to be peace. You're supposed to safeguard me. You're supposed to safeguard a tourist. So we've let the community get to know that tourism is solely the income generating activity that is part of Uganda, not about trade, something like that. But when you identify a site, now that one will increase the income of the district or the region. So we went to Buhweju. The people of Buhweju were waiting for us. We talked to them, and to me, I feel like that we were promoting peace. And partly they went with us to these sites, like Ndurumo Falls. They are the ones that were guiding us. So we were involving the community, not the tour guides, because at the end of it all, we want these people in communities to really understand the real good thing in tourism, and they promote peace. Because if you're with the community, then that means that there is no gap between the two of you. So that is what we did. We went to Rubirizi. The people who welcomed us in Rubirizi are the people, not the tour guides. So that is what we are trying to promote at this particular moment.
Shalon, when we talk about Ankole region, the commonest things that we know, Lake Mburo National Park, Mbarara Town. We know maybe the Eclipse Monument, Shigongo Museum. Tell us those unique things that you feel have been unjustified. They are underrated and people don't even know about them, yet they are really amazing if someone came to Ankole region to explore them. Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to start with Ntungamo district. We have Lake Nyabhoko and we have Karegeya Rock. The history, I'm not going to go into that history, but if you go to Lake Nyabhoko, they will tell you the history about that. Someone killing a cow, and the anger made that person to make the whole village a lake. So it is really enticing. And when you go to Karegeya Rock, they will tell you the Bachwezi, something like that. So it is really good to know about that. Then when you go to Shema, you will see Chitagata Hot Springs. There is one of Mugabe, and whereby Omugabe specifically came to bathe or be there. Then there is that one of other people, and surprisingly, when you go to that hot spring, you get cured. I don't know how. And then there is when a government. Shalon, have you ever gone there with a disease or any sickness and you got cured? I have drank its water. And it's hot. So people know Sempire, but there is that Tagata hot spring in Shema, and in Busheng, there is a UPC monument. When the late President Obote used to come from exile, he would directly go to Sheng. So there is a monument there in Ishaka. Then there is a Katunga Crater Lake. Very many people know that the crater lakes in Rubirizi, but we have a crater lake. We have Ndurumo Falls in Buhweju. We have Kasio Hachitomi Falls. Then we have a transparent lake, and we have rice growing in Mitoma. We have a lot of things. So many things. When you're saying all these things, I feel like Ankole has a lot of things that are not yet explored that we need to go back. We had the Explore West campaign with the Ministry of Tourism, but I feel we did the basic things that everyone knows. Exactly. If you go for such campaigns, we need to bring out new ideas, new attractions that people didn't know. But I need to know, do you have any plans of going beyond social media, going beyond going to schools to promote these attractions? Because if you're saying them here, it is I'm very sure that most of the people didn't know the attractions that you've just mentioned. But I feel like there is need to do more other than social medias, because you could find maybe your queens have a little following on X, on Facebook, and just a few people get to know this. Do you have future plans?
Yeah, my future plan, I think last year I had a team whereby we were just discovering these things, and we thought of doing an Explore Ankole, like itself like Ankole, because very many people don't know those hidden things. Like Amabarega Mugore in Kazo district, a few of them know. So I had a future plan of having that Explore Ankole so that we can document, and we really talk to these TV televisions, stations to like show people that this thing is happening. And maybe if we can have a website, when you put Explore Ankole, what does it bring? Like the history, the pictures, everything. So I would feel like people should get to know, because I went to Amabarega Mugore, instead of spending like 2 hours, I spent 6 hours. Like, you want to keep going there because the stories behind that are really enticing for someone to show. Then creating magazines for someone to read. If you're not there, you can read and you get the zeal to go and see them. And those were the plans that I was thinking about.
Sharon, just I only have 2 questions for you left, very simple questions. How much do you think, what is the approximated budget for someone to spend like 3 days in Ankole? How much do you think someone can spend when they come in Ankole for 3 days?
For 3 days, if it is a group, it depends.
Group of like
if
maybe
you have
7 people.
A group of like 7 people, including fuel or
everything. Like, I want to know, I want to come to Ankole and see these destinations. I'm planning maybe to have 3 days. Maybe you can say, maybe per person, they can spend like 300K, 400,000. It depends. How much do you think someone can spend?
An estimation is, an estimation will be like 3 to 4 millions.
That is a group of like how many people?
A group of like 7.
Okay, okay. That means per person that can be like 500.
Yeah, like 500.
600.
Yeah.
That is nice. I think if that is affordable. And one last one for you. Just tell us some of the events, upcoming events that Miss Tourism Ankole is so excited about.
We have an event on 20th of July. At Western Meridian Hotel, Bushenyi District, where we shall be crowning our next Miss Tourism Ankole 2024-2025. And then as Bushenyi Shaka Municipality, we are planning to have Kabagarame Run, and this is an event, like, it is going to take like 3 to 4 days, because we would love people to see those treasures, to come and taste the pork in Kabagarame. I know very many people have always been wanting to go to Kabagarame, but now this is the real deal for you. And then we are also having a project of debate and quiz, introducing the students and the pupils in the tourism industry. So this one is it is going to help the children to be nurtured in the tourism industry. For someone from the young age to grow up knowing the tourism industry and knowing everything, the dynamics in the tourism industry. So those are the upcoming events that we have as Miss Tourism Ankole, not forgetting Leather Pearl Shine campaign. We've done road safety awareness, we've done environmental protection, we've done mental health. I know a lot of people are going through a lot, so those are the projects that we are doing as Miss Tourism Ankole.
Okay, thank you so much, Sharon. It was nice having you, and it was nice having Sharon. I guess we've learned about the so many unique attractions that are in Ankole. Personally, I'm shocked with the attractions that I didn't know. I thought I knew Ankole region because I've been there on several occasions, but there are so many things, and I feel like I need to get some time to go back. But the beauty is you've had the estimation of the amount that you can spend. If you to go to Ankole like for 3 days, really 600,000 or 500,000, you go and learn all these beautiful things that are hidden in the region, and you really become proud of why Uganda is called the Pearl of Africa. Thank you so much for watching. Coming up is Joan Paul Sonko with a business update. Keep watching.
Well, good morning and thank you very much for watching Good Morning Uganda. I am Joram Paul Sonko. It's now time for business this morning. And today we talk matters Rotaract and what the Rotaractors are doing to ensure that they empower various members within Rotary to earn a living off their craft through networking and cooperation. Now, details coming in reveal that the Rotaract Club of Kampala East held an official visit function of the district Rotaract representative, Mr. Simio Sebukulu, at Hotel Africana on the evening of Tuesday this very week. Now, Sebukulu urged Rotaractors to focus on supporting Rotary and minimize the nightlife business. He further asked the general public to support Rotary in the ongoing Cancer Run project. Now, Owen Singoma, the magical president of Rotaract Club of Kampala East, highlighted some of the achievements and the projects that they are looking forward to accomplishing. Now, in attendance was also the magical president, Rotary Club of Kampala East, Rotarian Jackie Mali, and the deputy DDR and Rotaractors from across the country. The DDR visit happens in every Rotaract club in every magical year. We do have the details from the same event. Here it is.
Shines brighter. Imagine yourself in a black Mercedes Benz.
My name is Simio Sebukulu and I am the District Rotaract representative of Rotaract District 9213, Uganda. And today here at my official visit of the Rotaract Club of Kampala East, I did appreciate the work that they do. A club that has grown its membership, chartered just in 2013, and they now have a membership of 47 Rotaractors that are devoting their professionalism, they are devoting their expertise, their knowledge and their resources, time and money to make the world a better place than they actually found it. That is amazing. I have appreciated their president and the board. I did meet with the board and I did applaud the projects that they are doing. They have planted about over 5,000 trees in schools, and we are encouraging Rotaractors to embrace conservation of the environment so they can grow trees and not just plant them, to create the impact and empower the communities in which those projects are done, so the communities should take on these projects even after the Rotaract clubs have taken on the projects. Now, it's very intriguing how many people actually get to talk about Rotaract just being for fun, and I have implored them to give more public relations to the day life, because the Rotaractors are doing great work and projects during the day, but they are giving more of that public relations to the after projects, which is the nightlife that has the fun and then the partying and all that. So many people actually will know Rotaract for the nightlife because the Rotaractors have expressed this on their socials. But amazing work is actually happening in during the day as well in the various projects. So I have called them to action to give the Rotary Foundation, because it's the pull through which we change the world, but also embrace global grants. And so we have a hand of partnership where all of us together get to work towards transforming communities. The idea and reason behind community-based clubs in Rotaract is to endeavor that clubs get to create impact in their areas of jurisdiction, their geographical areas. So I have called the Rotaract Club of Kampala East to ensure that they create impact in the eastern part of Kampala, because that is the name that they associate with and that is the brand that they associate with. So they should not look elsewhere before the challenges of the eastern part of Kampala are addressed. It is not imperative of a club to leave their geographical jurisdiction and go to a place as far as the east, as far as the north and west, when they are leaving their geographical jurisdiction. Altogether, if 118 clubs do that in their geographical jurisdiction and create impact there, we will have surpassed the entire nation as Uganda and created impact there. So you should join Rotaract at whichever stage so we can be a part of this impact, so we can create impact, because Rotaract is known for people of action.
So today we have been having the DRR come visit us We are the Rotaract Club of Kampala North. My name is Karo Bavuga, and I am the ADRR for this club. It is in Central Cluster 1. We are about 9 clubs of them, and this is one of those. So today, we are privileged to have the honor to host the DRR, who is the district Rotaract representative. He represents the whole of Rotaractors in the whole of Uganda, and so today we had him officially because we have very many clubs. So each time of the year they get a time when they come and come down and visit this club. So today we've been honored to have him. We have been joined by very many other Rotaractors around the country from different clubs, and it's been an honor for him to come and share with us about the different aspects that we are doing as we serve the communities in Rotaract and where we need to check ourselves.
My name is Owen Singoma, the president of Rotaract Club of Kampala East. I'm happy to host the district Rotaract representative, Mr. Simeon Sembakura, and the ADRR, who is Caroline Bavuga. Today we hosted the biggest fellowship in the year, where we were launching our projects, our membership to the district, our contributions to the district. The district here is a representative of many clubs, and I thank everyone who turned up for a big event, and club members who supported me to see this great event come true. As a club, we've had the tree planting in Cooperative, where we planted 500 trees, and last week we had a needs assessment in Busambaga in Entebbe, where we are trying to construct a picture tree and a bathroom for the students, whereby we want to improve sanitation for the students. We are in a poor state of sanitation, the dormitories are in need. So we are trying to do a long-term project of 3 years. From now, we've done a needs assessment and just waiting for the approval from the board, then we start. But I want to applaud everyone who can come on board to partner with us, give us support, because we want to create impact to the communities where we serve. That is the magic of Rotary, where we go and create impact to the communities where people are in need, they need our services. So I thank you everyone, I welcome everyone on board. I'm looking for partners, I'm looking for sponsors, whoever can come and support us. Thank you very much.
My name is Mark Tusime. I am the Rotaract Cancer Run Chair for the 13th Cancer Run that is going to be held on 25th August 2024. This Cancer Run is an annual event that is held to raise funds to support and build the cancer center in Nsambia. As Rotaractors, this year we are starting the initiative of the 45 Days of Cancer, and the 45 Days of Cancer we are planning to cumulatively raise 10,000 kilometers, and for each kilometer we are seeking to fundraise 1,000 shillings that is going to support 2 initiatives that are currently running. That is the Rotary Cancer Program Uganda and the Rotaract Corporate League, which supports children with cancer. So we are calling upon to all of you people out there to come and join us in this campaign as either runners or walkers, or to contribute financially to this campaign. Thank you very much.
Well, that does it from what is coming in from Rotaract Club of Kampala East. Now we turn our focus onto the forex market to see how different currencies were faring on the exchange, courtesy of the central bank here. For those of you who are moving out to exchange some currencies and those in forex trade, this is how you will find the forex market. The US dollar was buying at 3,692.09 while selling at 3,702.09. The Great Britain pound was buying at 4,789.37 while selling at 4,802.35. The euro was buying at 4,026.22 while selling at 4,037.12. The Kenyan shilling was buying at 28.34 while selling at 28.42. The Tanzanian shilling was buying at 1.39 while selling at 1.39. The South African rand was buying at 204.36 while selling at 204.91. And well, that is it from business this very week on Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Please do note, UBC's Business Roundup show is up and running for those of you who want to follow up with the business news all over the week. But for now, I'll be back on Monday with the latest from the world of business. Good Morning Uganda continues with Chantal Oliver Kandinda and with traffic updates.
Good morning and thank you for staying with us from the hour of 6:30 in the morning. We are glad that you get to catch the show with us now. It's time for traffic updates. Let's see how traffic is at the moment in the different parts of town, especially the parts that you will be flocking or you might desire to flock as you are trying to catch the worm today. Now, this particular roundabout is the roundabout that takes you to the Square 2, takes you to Lumumba Avenue, takes you to Speak Road. As you can see, if you are coming from Tanan Avenue and this Tanan Avenue leads you to this very junction, you will be finding a lot of traffic. However, before you get to the roundabout and to the junction that comes from Victoria Avenue, you will be finding no traffic whatsoever. Sezibwa Road is safe. There is no traffic at all. And Chintu Road as well is okay to navigate. Shimoni Road is also okay. As you can see, Makinon Road is safe. Chintu Road, if you're continuing further, you are safe to use that road. Now, Speak Road is okay for you to move. And as you can see, if you are going down to this other roundabout that connects to Nile Avenue and also connects you down to Kampala Road, you'll be finding no traffic whatsoever. If you're using Shimoni Road and you're trying to also connect to town as well, or Kampala Road, you'll be finding no traffic as you're trying to connect. However, if you're using the Square 2 Road and you're joining this very roundabout, you'll be finding some traffic as you are approaching the roundabout. On Lumumba Avenue, you will be finding no traffic whatsoever. You will be okay to move, and depending on the route that you will be taking, you will be finding easy movement, and that is how town is faring at the moment. Now, Nehru Avenue is marred with some traffic, and as you can see as well, if you're trying to join Nakasero Road, the first parts, especially after you've exited the roundabout, are mad with a lot of traffic. However, further into Nakasero Road, you'll be finding slow movement until you join Chago Road. And if you're joining Chago Road is safe to navigate. Nakasero Lane is okay for you to navigate. Still, Lumumba Avenue has no traffic whatsoever. You are great. You have the green flag. You can move whichever way you are taking now. If you are now coming deep now into downtown, you'll be finding no traffic actually. As you can see, the only time you'll be finding hold-ups, it could be at the lights or at the junctions. Short of that, there's just slow movement and traffic is okay. We are faring quite well, and this is deep down now. This is if you're going to the areas of Chikubo, if you're going to the areas of Namirembe Road, then if you've crossed through now, Namirembe Road has slow movement. That is if you're now using, if you're trying to leave Nachivubo side, you'll be finding slow movement. After that, if you can check Sebana Road is mad with some traffic in the middle there until you get to the part that has the Globovet. And aside from that, you'll be finding traffic when you are now joining Entebbe Road. That is why you'll be finding traffic. So for now, if you're coming to town, you're safe to actually move. Zambia Road is mad with some traffic, especially when you are closing onto what we call I think it's the city, that city, what they call the Kampala flyover. Yes, Queensway is mad with some traffic, especially as you are closing into the very same roundabout. Short of that, you'll be finding no traffic, except in the middle there, the sides of Katwe is where there will also be a bit of traffic and a slow movement. And but before that, pretty much this is when you are closing into town. This is when you'll be finding a lot of traffic if you're using Queensway. And that's it for our traffic updates this morning. Stay with us as Good Morning Uganda Agenda will be coming up next.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
He expected me to die like within the first 2 years. Out of the blue, the child will get pains, especially in the wrists. And this happens commonly when children are starting to walk.
Was brought to you by
can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubi Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the MyMTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you the long walk to freedom of the emergent kingdoms of Bunyala, Buruli and Koki that were once tributary counties of Bunyoro and later Buganda Kingdom.
During that time of Kabalega, before the colonial time,
we had kings. We had Buruli Wanyangoma Bunyala Kingdom, the kingdom of Koki.
And the Bunyoro Kingdom.
The Kamuswaga, Nayagala Agende are very protected under Buganda.
The ruling family are actually Babito.
The Baganda collaborated with the whites.
After the defeat of Kabarega, this county
was given to Uganda as the reward.
Showing at Rhino Hotel Nakasongola, Saturday 20th July at 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and at Kidera Town Council Hall on Sunday the 21st of July at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko pamoja?
Lutalo Steven na ndi mtuze kweno zone yazi natete central bizone ate nga ndi chairman wa chalo kino nze nga omukulembeze safunamu oba kali twafunamu olwa abantu bafenti bafunamu naye nze nga omuntu kenyini nyini safuna kuba nali sobola kusooka kufuna nga ate abantu bange tebannafuna kitegeeza abantu baffe balina okusooka okufuna kati naffe omukisa bwe gunabaguze mu maaso naffe tulyoke tufune naye abantu bangi tebannafuna ate nze mbasobola kufuna ekituufu tuyinza oba tufunyemu abantu nga 31 naye ekituufu kale tugezezzaako okulaba nga tubatetenkanyiza okulaba nga bazifuna era twagala obbeebaza naye abatannafuna be bangi tusaba gavumenti yeekube mu mutima esobole okuwa abantu ate kino ekyalo kyaffe kirina abantu bangi nnyo abatalina mirimu era abakyala mubalabye abatalina capital kati obalaba basanyufu ndozera mubalabye mubayiseemu kati olaba bafunye capital owa kananasi owa obutunda owa chai kwegamba mukama mulungi naye ate singa mubadde munoonya batannafuna ndowooza mubadde temujja nafuna budde obavaamu kuba be bangi ennyo era mubadde mbawulira amalowoozi tusaba mutuyambe abantu abatannafuna bangi nnyo ekyamazima ndi musanyufu nze ng'omuntu ate nabo bennyini be basinga n'obusanyufu kubanga okuba olinga abadde talina yadde capital w'emitwalo 10 n'abanga afunye capital oyo essaawa eno obalabye abakyala basanyufu ekyenkomeredde kati basaaliza bano batalina ate kati kyovudde olabanga abatalina ate babasalako nnyo okugamba nti ffe mutuwadde kuki ku kasente nabo baagala babenga bannaabwe baki bano abaafunako gwe mulango gwe gutwagala okukubira gavumenti eveeyo erowooze ku bantu baayo abaawansi ddala ate kino kye baakola okujja ku baawansi abasookerwako kyo kirungi nnyo nga ssente omuntu yennyini yazeefunira yennyini nga teziriiko amukonjoboddeko yadde 10 kitegeezo ekyo kyali kyanjawulo singa bulijjo bagenda bakikola bwe batyo kyandibadde kirungi nnyo Adamu. Twagala okubeebaza mwebale kubakyalirako n'okubazzaamu amaanyi naye mmaliriza nga mbakubira omulanga abatannaba kufuna bangi nnyo mubalowoozeeko mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala.
Amanya gange bampitaziwa Joseph Simbwa nkolanga kitentebe wa NRM mu luka guno gennateti owe NRM nkunga abantu baffe ab'omu luka guno abawejjere bafune sente za PDM president abawadde bongere mu bizinesi zaabwe obutonotono bakulaakulane kubanga naffe twagala bakulaakulanye mu kibiina kyendabye kinakalabako ebitira bulungi nnyo abaddukanya PDM bagiddukanya bulungi era akikulira Mamisima Kawuki akitambuza bulungi era abantu baffe akumye bulungi oba PDM bonna bafunye twatafunye buli asaba afunye okukikola ki ne banyooma naye nga baga nti tubaffe tubatugamba balonda mu bantu baabwe naye bantu bonna baweebwa siga nti benaalemu oba baakya bonna baweebwa.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
A lovely morning. A lovely morning to you and much thanks for being with us on UBC TV. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda Agenda. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. Now, this morning I'm very excited because I'm hosting someone whom I enjoy so much because of his passion, and even when he's speaking, he's one person who speaks about cooperatives, and you see even the expression that this person is deeply rooted or even indoctrinated, I don't know the right word to use, into the cooperative movement. Join me, welcome Ivan Asimwe, the General Secretary, Uganda Cooperative Alliance, with me this morning, with whom we are going to be discussing achievements of cooperatives in Uganda. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Chirabo, moderator, and good morning, our viewers. I'm very happy to be here.
And today is unique for the years I've hosted you. You're always in suits, ties, but you've decided to don this way.
You know, this week we are celebrating the achievements of cooperatives in Uganda. And from Monday up to Saturday, we are having series of activities. So right now I'm dressed like this because we are still moving from here. I will be going for the National Microfinance and Circle Conference at Africana, and I proceed to the field in Masaka. Tomorrow we have a symposium, and we celebrate on Saturday.
Wow.
So I'm in the cooperative attire.
Now, even before we go any further into the topic of discussion, briefly explain to us, define to us in a layman's understanding, not the accounting words and all that, when you talk of cooperatives, because I've discovered that most of the people mention cooperatives, they go back to China Korea, they go back to Gisu, they look at agriculture cooperatives, and that is what they know. Anything else? Yesterday I was struggling with gentlemen here when messages were coming in who are talking about community cooperatives. I was saying, now what is that? I thought circles, I thought this. So let's first begin by ensuring that our viewer is on the right page with us.
Thank you so much, moderator, and good morning once again, all Ugandans. Always very happy to be here, and I'm always grateful with the UBC, the board and management, for giving the cooperators the opportunity to come here, listen, learn, and explain to Ugandans that actually cooperatives are the way to go. Because globally, countries have developed. Last week I was in Italy. Can you believe that the economy of Italy is built on cooperatives?
Wow.
Yes. Very strong cooperatives. You visit cooperatives, they are in processing vegetables, fruits. My God, you can't imagine. The whole economy is based on cooperatives. So, viewers, a cooperative ideally means an autonomous association of persons. Now, when you talk about persons, you mean both biological, me and you, and artificial, like these groups, like such things. So it is an autonomous association of persons united voluntarily, voluntarily, no force, to meet their social, economic, cultural needs and aspirations through a jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprise. Now, what does it mean? Me and you, Mr. Chirabo, and others, take an example, we are journalists. There is an opportunity whereby as journalists we sit down and ask ourselves, me and you, we went to school. Do we know how many years we took in school? Primary, 7 years. Secondary, 6. Those are 13. University, 3. Those are 16 years. 16 years studying. But when you finish your university, others even go up to 20-something, you come and you still want to be a slave. You are looking for a job. When actually there is an opportunity for you, you people as journalists, to sit and even form your own cooperative society or union, and you start investing. Because what is lacking? Just tell me, why do we go to school? I have discovered that in Uganda and Africa, most of us are going to school to learn English. We are very good at speaking English, but we are poor. Can you imagine? So there is that opportunity, but we are all stuck here. We finish university and we are looking for jobs. And you find people crying, blaming the government that we don't have jobs. When actually, you can combine your skills, you can combine your knowledge, you bring one plus one in our culture. Yes, 1 plus 1 makes a bundle. If let's say, how many journalists do we have in this country? Yes, we are using that example. Like how many? I don't know. How many journalists?
We can hit 1,000.
1,000. Now, if every journalist brought like 100,000, how much money is that? It means that as a journalist, you can invest in this country. You can have the best media house in this country, whereby instead of being
because when you look at the universities we have, and those that are having a churning out degrees in a mass communication class, in mine were about 95. And those are so many years back now.
Instead of becoming employees, you actually become employers. Take an example. I'm a chartered accountant. One time we had a meeting at Hotel Africana. Our CPDs, we usually have those competence trainings every 3 months. So I challenged them based on my experience, because I've now made 21 years in cooperatives. So based on my experience, I asked accountants. Accountants, from bachelors, you go for SCCA CPA, 3 to 5 years. Others have gone for masters and PhDs, and we are still donating our money to these banks. Can't we use our brains? Why do we call ourselves financial experts? We only deal with debit and credit, but we remain poor. Can't we use our brains, mobilize our resources, bring together our skills and knowledge, because we are financial experts? When you talk about accounting, I can take you through everything. But unfortunately, I am still donating money to these other banks where I don't have a stake. So based on that, we ran very fast and formed the cooperative. And now our circle is very big. We are in billions of money.
Sure.
So that is a cooperative where me and you, having realized either there is a challenge or there is an opportunity, we come together. The Banyarwanda call it mwirarane chiramujanya. Come together. The Banyankole call it mwijirarane tukorere hamwe. And they say agatere ningogati gufa. Unity is power. So the moment you adopt that, that is a cooperative. However, like you are very right, some people think that a cooperative is where, like Mr. Chirabo, who is a politician, goes to a constituency and says, you people organize and I give you money. That is not a cooperative.
Form a circle.
Because the definition is very clear. An autonomous association of persons united voluntarily to meet their social, economic, cultural needs and aspirations through a democratic control. And it is based, cooperatives are based on 7 international principles. Number 1 is voluntary and open membership. So voluntary and open. Number 2, democratic member control. Number 3, member economic participation. Then there is autonomy and independence. There is education, training and information. There is cooperation among cooperatives. And lastly, community concern, which is the 7th principle. And cooperatives are based on 4 pillars. There is member control, member usage, member ownership, and benefiting members. Based on the definition, the principles and the values, a cooperative is not formed because someone has told you, but a cooperative is formed because there is an inherent need in you. Either you are solving a problem or you are tapping into an opportunity. And that is why Europe and America, they are moving. Like I have mentioned, are you aware that France is now the one leading in the cooperatives? France is leading in the cooperatives. Germany, because France is leading, especially when it comes to financial sector. The largest financial institution of cooperative nature is in France. You go to Germany, Germany is leading in insurance and retail business. You go to Brazil, Brazil is leading in health and education.
Let's come back to Uganda.
Now, are you aware that Brazil has the largest health cooperative in the world with over 200,000 physicians and over 100 hospitals? Now, those are doctors. So likewise, if you came to Uganda here, there is a problem of medical care. Now I'm going to the achievements. There is a challenge of medical care.
Maybe before you go to the achievements, GS, help us understand, first assess the situation for Uganda as well. You've talked of Brazil, Germany, France. In Uganda, how are cooperatives performing?
Oh, very wonderful. You talk of cooperatives today, every Ugandan is now awake. You know, previously, I remember when I just joined the circle. That was 2003, 15th of March. It was a Saturday. That's when I got my job in the circle as a cashier. I tell you, my OGs and OBs in Makere would call me, Ivan, where are you? I'm in a circle, I'm a cashier. What's a circle? A circle? Ivan, we thought you were a brilliant man. You mean you failed to the extent that you are now working in the village? So people could not believe that a cooperative would work. But now you go to cooperatives.
And more so when you talk about circles, also throw more deeper explain, because many people don't even understand that a circle, despite having a saving and credit cooperative, they don't understand this.
They don't even know that a circle is a cooperative.
Yes.
So by then, it was like you could not talk about a cooperative because most of the unions had collapsed. The circles was the circle methodology was a new phenomenon. So people did not understand cooperatives. But as we speak today, Chirabo, we have cooperatives, circles which are bigger than commercial banks. Wazalendo circle has hit $1 trillion. It is bigger than a commercial bank because to start a commercial bank you need 350 billion. But now for it is in trillions. So Uganda is ahead, but you see, it is always very good to compare so that you see what is happening outside there. Like I've told you in America, I've told you in Brazil, I have told you go to Asia. South Korea is leading in agriculture and foodstuffs in terms of cooperatives. They came here and started cooperatives. I had a meeting with the director of Korean Development Strategy. He's a professor. In 1960, you know, Uganda was ahead of Korea. But these people came here, studied the model, they went back. Can you believe that Uganda Cooperative Alliance was formed on 17th of June, 1961? For them, they went back around October, November. They formed the UCA in Korea, which they called the National Agricultural Cooperative Federation of Korea. By 2011, its net worth was $305 billion US. It has 37 companies, 2 holding companies and 35 subsidiaries. These are cooperatives.
Now, Ivan.
Now, when you come here...
yes, that's where my interest is.
When you come here, I want to tell you that as we speak today, you know, when we are there, we copy and come here. So that's why I talk with the confidence. You know, if I didn't have structures, I wouldn't be here. Because, you know, UCA is the apex body for all registered cooperative societies in the country. And this is by law, it's not by design. Because the Cooperative Societies Act, Cap 112, clearly mentions that Uganda Cooperative Alliance shall be the apex body for all registered cooperative societies. Section 29 of the same law says that the board of Uganda Cooperative Alliance shall engage government on matters of policy relating to cooperatives. Section 73 talks about UCA in terms of arbitration, that in case there is a conflict or a dispute in cooperatives, the board of Uganda Cooperative Alliance shall arbitrate. And subsection 5 of section 73 says that in case the parties to an arbitration fail to get an arbitrator, the General Secretary of Uganda Cooperative Alliance shall appoint an arbitrator. Section 49B of the amended Cooperative Societies Act also mentions very well the role of UCA board on audit and supervision. So based on that, that is our constituency. So we have the legal mandate on cooperatives. And for that matter, we have played a very big role in nurturing, mentoring, and growing these cooperatives. And that is why we are here to celebrate the achievements. Because the achievements are enormous in this country. Now, talk about financial inclusion.
We are now starting achievements.
Yes. Talk about financial inclusion, moderator. If you can see circles across the country.
Very many
circles.
But Ivan, also many are struggling.
Of course, however much they are struggling. Now that is the role of UCA, that is the role of government. You know, Mr. Chirabo, you cannot fail to produce children because they don't have school fees. Produce them, you struggle. Yes.
Huh?
So, the circles are there. They are struggling. Now, what is the role of UCA? What is the role of government? That is why I'm very appreciative of government. Because based on that, government gave Uganda Cooperative Alliance a subvention, which is a budgetary support. Now, the purpose of this subvention is to support cooperatives. Indeed, nurture them, mentor them, train them, support everything.
And I've
so
seen you carry out a number of meeting district commercial officers, district. You've done some good work.
Very good.
I must commend you.
I'm very
I've not been able to attend these trainings, but at least I've seen stories. Some have talked to me, some have sent messages, looking at how best they can understand what they are doing.
Very
Though
good.
I must be quick to add that it's just a drop in the ocean. I think more work still needs to be done.
You are very right. We need more work because cooperatives now in the country are 40 by end of last month. There were 45,454. There are so many serving 18 million Ugandans. So you are very right to say that this is a drop in an ocean, but a drop in an ocean is better than nothing. So that we have started now, and you are very right. We began with the commercial officers because we cannot do all of this work in the whole country. We need the foot soldiers who are the commercial officers. But I call upon government. Commercial officers are doing a lot of work down there in the districts, municipalities and cities, but they need a lot of capacity building and they need facilitation. They need vehicles, they need motorcycles, they need money to go to the field because these cooperatives are so many. The PDM circles have come on board, Emyoga have come on board, so there is a lot of work for them, so hence they need capacity building and facilitation. But I'm happy government is slowly doing it because you see government cannot do everything at a go. There are so many priorities, but I'm happy a drop in an ocean is better than nothing. So talk about financial inclusion, circles have done it. You know very well, me, I grew up in the village. My father was a very big businessman in the village, in a certain town there, township now. But he didn't have an account in a bank with a lot of money. But you know, as kids, we would find money. The man would put money somewhere, then he gets stones and he covers the money. You go to a bedroom, as you are trying to lift some stones, you find a lot of money there. Why? He could not move from there to go to a bank. So for them, they were there. But I remember when we started, when UCA with the government, they started supporting communities to form circles. He was the first person to go and open an account in a circle. And all of that money now went to the circle. So, meaning that before the circles came in, the gap was so big. There was financial exclusion. So that what I am trying to mean that even a person deep in the village there, in your own village, deep there in Bukomansimbi, even if someone cannot get a border to go to Masaka and deposit money, at least there is a circle nearby where you can
deposit money and save.
Again, our people were being exploited by the middlemen, these money lenders. Can you believe someone would get a loan at an interest rate of 20 to 30%? And people lost their properties. But because now circles are so many, and even the smallholder farmer can access this money in the circle, these other money lenders have said, you know what, there's too much competition. Even if you went there now, they are also lending up to around 5%. But I wouldn't encourage Ugandans to go to the money lenders. Why are you being exploited? You go to these circles, there is money. Secondly, go to energy. You know we have cooperatives that are into energy. As we speak today, Chegegwa Energy Cooperative Society distributes power in 12 districts, and specifically in rural communities. Paida Beam has been doing the same in northern Kitugum, Guru, and those other districts, 12 districts. You go to Bundubujo, you go to Isinjiro, Millennium. So, in other words, they are contributing towards expanding the power lines, especially in rural areas, because you know, Mr. Chirabo, according to the report, there is annual demand of between 10 to 12% demand for power, especially in rural areas. So the cooperatives, these cooperatives like Chegegwa, they are helping government to reach out to these rural areas and distribute power. Talk about health. The doctors having gotten the information from UCA, especially when I came, and I want to thank UBC. When I visited Brazil, and we saw the Brazilian model on health. I came back and you gave me the platform. Here, you know you have contributed a lot to the cooperative movement.
UBC has contributed, yes.
UBC, not Chirabo. UBC, you have done a lot. I came here, immediately when I left the studio, one of the doctors called me. Maybe you are the one who gave him my number. He called me and said, we want to meet you. They came to our office on Nkuruma. I explained to them. They mobilized like 100
doctors. He drove
doctors.
to UBC looking for me?
Maybe you shared my number, and I'm very happy that you did that. So they came, they mobilized like 100 doctors here in Kampala. We sensitized them. They formed a health cooperative. Now they have started a hospital. So meaning that in the next 10 years, we can have a first-class hospital in this country which contributes to health care. Why would Ugandans, really, why would Ugandans be thrown out of the country to Europe, Asia, and America for medical care when we have educated doctors in this country? Where is the missing link? So as a country, can we mobilize these doctors, give them enough facilitation and support, and then they are able to form such cooperatives which finally come up with a union, and they are able to have a first-class health care like it is in Brazil? Why would we go to look for an investor to come and invest in health when actually we have educated doctors? So these are things that really help an economy to grow. Talk about agriculture.
Oh, in agriculture, yes.
Have done a lot. I know you'll talk of Chibinge.
No, why I like Chibinge so much is because first, in its inception, the likes of Sowedi and all those gentlemen, these were ordinary farmers, to be honest, in Chibinge. Actually, Chibinge was formed by, I think that there were 5. I don't know how, I think I've gone to be with our Lord. And they started small, jokingly, actually. But the next time I followed up, they know we have premium. Is it premium? You understand this cooperative language?
True.
We are going to construct, how many wells did they say? Then I went back the road. So I asked these people, help me understand. Where are you getting the money, you people? You now have a warehouse, you're having cars. Told me, no, we found a cooperative. So I've seen Chibinge through different stages. And ordinary farmers, villagers, if I might say, but through a humble heart, not in the other way. Typical villagers. Now exporting coffee
to Europe.
To Europe. Men who even tell you first, explain this document, and then getting premium and benefiting their community. They'll tell you this time we are going to work on this road. We are going to have shallow wells. We are going to, I'm like, how did these 5 men, very local, I mean, they advanced to this, and it's the cooperative
I am
movement.
telling you, it is good that moderator, you know these. These are very good success stories in the country, whereby a few farmers who have realized that they are being exploited by the middlemen, coffee farmers who are outside there, listening or watching me, let us stop donating our coffee. Let us stop donating our wealth. And at the end of the day, you are called the poor man.
But what is premium, if I may ask briefly?
I am coming to that. You know why these cooperatives are moving very fast and the farmers are very happy. You know, when I'm a coffee farmer, I have coffee now, I've harvested it. So what happens is, instead of donating this coffee to a middleman, you know, they come with the minzani, the weighing scales, with the on the bicycles, with the kengeri. Then you sell your coffee, you donate it. So instead of doing that, for us we come together and we say enough is enough. We cannot continue to be exploited. Moreover, we are educated. Why did we go to school? I always ask myself, Ugandans, why do we go to school?
All you do is passing on opportunities repeatedly.
Speak English, then you continue passing on opportunities repeatedly. Now, we come together, aggregate our coffee. Now, once we aggregate our coffee, then we have bargaining power as farmers. The other middleman will no longer cheat us because we have aggregated our coffee and we can dictate the price. Now, once we aggregate, like Chibinge or Ankole coffee, all that coffee, you get a single market in Europe. Now this is where the middlemen have been taking the coffee. Now you have also gone to that market. So they have been, don't think these people are not making money. The middlemen, they are making a lot of money. They are driving Porsche cars, they are building arcades in Kampala, but a coffee farmer cannot even manage a bicycle. It is high time that the farmers woke up. Africans wake up, we are sleeping. We have slept for a long time. This is the time to wake up and develop our economies. As Africans, I talk beyond Uganda because I'm the vice president representing Africa on the International Cooperative Agriculture Organization. We are 5 in the whole world. So when I talk, I really look at Africa. I look at our farmers. Why are our farmers suffering? So when they bring this coffee together, they get the first payment, which is farm gate price. Like now the kilogram is around 13,000. When our coffee goes to Europe or America, whichever, and they are able to make a profit, then we come and share that money. That is second payment. Now for those who are supplying through fair trade, it is a policy of fair trade that at the end of every year, they give you like Kasimo. Thank you for marketing through us. Then that Kasimo or the appreciation is what is termed as premium. And that money, it comes in bulk, goes to Chibinge, and the condition is that you need, this money should be paid back to the farmers appropriately, depending on how much you bulk it. So this is where farmers now around the Christmas, you find a farmer has the capacity to slaughter a whole bull because he has money. Like I remember Uncle Coffee last year, they had a premium of around 1.5 billion. It was a lot of money. Now, if these people were not in cooperatives, all this money would be going to an individual who is a middleman. The individual is buying a Land Cruiser, he's constructing arcades in Kampala, and you, a coffee farmer who is suffering for 3 years, you do not have even a bicycle. So this is the time for you farmers, including myself, let us wake up, let us have strong cooperatives to liberate us economically. Now we go to transport. Just a minute. As a benefit.
Well, just remind our viewers that we are looking at the achievements of cooperatives in Uganda. Saturday, we'll have the celebrations of the International Day of Cooperatives, a belated celebration, and that will be in Chibinge, where cooperators are going to be as they celebrate, discuss their achievements, challenges, way forward, and I'm told that His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, is expected to be the guest at this function. So please, cooperators, do not miss this opportunity to come together and celebrate the achievements, which we are also discussing today, and giving you a reason as to why actually you should be part of a cooperative. Whatever you're doing, you should organize yourselves and form a cooperative, because we know Uganda Cooperative Alliance is there to give you all the knowledge you need to get to that. You're still looking at the achievements.
Yes, I wanted to give you an example of cocoa. In 2014, personally, I went to Bundibujo. And we supported the farmers in Bundibujo, cocoa farmers. By then, Mr. Chirabo, a kilogram of cocoa was 1,800 shillings, Ugandan shillings. Cocoa. And I remember when we went there, having discussed with the farmers called the middlemen Chinakulia. That was the name they gave them. I was with my staff, Robert Asim, 2 people. We were there for 3 months. So, can you believe that to date, a kilogram of cocoa is between 30 to 40,000 Uganda shillings? Why? Because the farmers realized they are being cheated. They started aggregating. Because we started the formation of primary societies that eventually formed Semuriki Cooperative Union that is into cocoa. We even linked them to some partners, and they got a store plus some other support. And now they have cocoa and they're exporting it. I want to tell Ugandans that based on that, as I was in Italy last week, we have signed Uganda Cooperative Alliance has signed an MOU with Ankasa. Ankasa is like UCA of Malaysia. And we are going to mobilize all cocoa farmers. There is a bigger market of cocoa in Malaysia. So they will start exporting cocoa in Malaysia. And that one, it means even the price is likely to shoot up to 50,000. So it means the more you aggregate your produce together, the more you get bargaining power and the more money you get than as opposed to selling individually. So briefly, we have a whole program for the week to celebrate all these achievements. Monday we began with the national prayers led by the Interreligious Council. I want to thank them. They really did a good job to pray for cooperators in the country because we need prayers as
Did you pray for our bank?
We prayed for everything.
Because I'm very eager to wake up.
We prayed for UBC for always giving us this opportunity. We want God to always be there for you. Then from there we went to Media Center here on Tuesday. Yesterday we were launching the national tree planting in Nawaikoke in the Kaliro district. It was very big. We had so many people, over 1,000 people, who came to witness together with our minister for cooperatives, Honorable Gume Frederick Ngobi. He was there. He was the one who was the chief guest, and me and him, we planted trees there, and we are distributing over 100,000 tree seedlings to Ugandans. Why? Cooperatives, we are concerned about greening the environment. Then today, in fact from yesterday to today, we are having the National Microfinance and the Circle Conference at Hotel Africana. Even after here, I'm going there. Very big conference where we are bringing all microfinance institutions, all circles together to deliberate and forge a way forward from yesterday to today. Yesterday, still, it was a national blood donation in over 30 centers across the country. The information I got in the evening was that by close of yesterday, we had collected over 1 million liters of blood.
Wow.
Are you seeing how the contribution of cooperatives? Because we have a 7th principle of cooperatives that was added on to the other 6 in 1995 under Manchester Conference, which is community concern. Then, as I finish, we are now proceeding to Masaka. We shall first of all launch an office for UFCCU, which is community cooperatives. They are using the Korean model.
Yes, I had them yesterday.
You had them here. They are our partners and we are working together. Then from there we proceed to Masaka. Friday, tomorrow, we shall have a national symposium where all cooperatives will converge to discuss issues of cooperatives, strategies and way forward. Then on Saturday, we shall have the national celebrations and His Excellency the President, YK Museveni, is going to preside over. And we love him because he has been our patron. He has the passion and love for cooperatives. So we really want to associate with him to develop this country together. Now, I want to call upon all Ugandans, all cooperators, even if you can't drive, you walk. Because people are walking from deep there to Namugongo here for matters. Why don't you walk from wherever you are? I would be very glad if people started like the previous 2 weeks walking up to Chibinge, because we shall be at Misamvu Church of Uganda Primary School on Saturday, celebrating the entire week activities, the achievements with His Excellency, with the government officials. Will be there. Kindly, if you cannot drive, better start walking now, so that tomorrow on Saturday we all celebrate our achievements, we jubilate because we have achieved a lot. And I want to thank our host, Chibinge. You know you love Chibinge so much. Chibinge, I want to thank you so much for hosting us. I also want to thank UFCC for co-hosting. And then Uganda Cooperative Alliance is the chief organizer of all of these. So all of these activities you have heard of, it is Uganda Cooperative Alliance that is the chief organizer. But of course, working with the government, working with the other partners. I want to appreciate the government. I want to appreciate partners. I want to thank our ministers. the Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, the Minister of State for Cooperatives, the Permanent Secretary, the Office of the Registrar, and the team of UCA and the National Organizing Committee for this very big achievement. And I want to thank UBC also. And I invite all the media houses on Saturday, Friday and Saturday, you all come and we promote cooperatives. And before I finish, I call upon all the journalists in this country to think, let you come, me I will offer a free training, so that I would be very glad when I find journalists having a very big cooperative society.
I'll lead them so that we can have a cooperative as journalists as well. Thank you so much, Ivan, for always having time whenever we call upon you to preach the gospel of the cooperative movement, which I strongly believe we can use that to deliver us to the economy that we want, and also to alleviate and fight poverty in Uganda. Well, see you in the next hour. God willing, have a lovely time. Sports is next, this time with a song called Don't Miss Him and what he has for you. Good morning.
Thank you, thank you.
Live from UBC Studios in